kids? Mark Miller here. Welcome to another episode of Code Rush. We are in the process of loading the drone game. It's taken a little bit of time to load, and the reason why, I suspect, has something to do with PNG Gauntlet, which is sucking up, as you can see, a fair amount. Hey, Deepwater. Welcome. Good morning. It's sucking up a fair amount of processing space. It's at the bottom right here. You can't quite see it, but I'll bring it up here for you if I can zoom into it. Not even my zoom it is working. Interesting. It's interesting because some things behave normally and quickly, and some things take a lot longer. Like I say, there it is. It just finished the refresh. It looked like there out there in the Code Rush one. Let's test the drone now to see if the drone is working. Is it working? It's working. And let's turn on some music. Nice. Got two more files here to compress here in the process, the PNG Gauntlet. I woke up early this morning and realized, oh shoot, I went to bed last night without throwing PNG Gauntlet at all of those files I generated. There we go. It's working on 81. It just finished it. It's right there. Something's growing. You plant a seed and look what happens.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Copper Beardy, welcome. Welcome, Deepwater. Yeah, so like, I don't know, 5 a.m. I came out and I was like, oh, let's throw all these files. So I threw like, I think about probably like between 1,000 and 2,000 files at it. And those files here, I'll bring them up for you, show you what we're talking about. Here's the ones I just threw out for the walk animation. So there they are right there. And these files right here, they're big. They're pretty big. It's what, about 1,300 by 700. So big, significant, sprite animation pieces that we're going to be working with today. Design Pattern's asking, what happened yesterday with the stream? So I have got, as you know, I've got 4 battery backups, or as you may know, I have 4 battery backups at different points of failure between the business next store to me and our house. We're basically siphoning off their internet. It's the only way here in Costa Rica and in this particular location for me to get access to fiber optics. So there's a switch at the business location. There's a switch about 130 meters, 125 meters at a little outpost on my land. And then there's another switch right here in my office. And then there's another battery backup for everything here in front of the monitors. So if we lose power, hey, I'm telling this story. Rude, Pudding, your show. Come on. Come on, Pudding. Come on, Pudding. I feel like it's my show. The show brought to you by Pudding. So if we lose power, everything keeps going. Well, the interesting thing that happened yesterday is the power grid apparently is split right between my property and the business next to us. So the business next to us lost power. We did not, so I know.
Surly Deb is in the house.
Watch out, kids. Surly Deb's here. We traced the call. Surly Deb is in the house. So business next door lost power. We did not. So I didn't realize that we were running on battery backup at point number 1, the switch at the business's location. So we were still, going even though they had lost power until that battery backup died, and it was instant and essentially no recoverable. There was no way to recover from it. No way for me to get back on and join you. But I asked Roy to tell everybody that we lost the internet. My apologies for that. Yeah, not much I could do on that one, I think. It's just kind of the precarious nature. Once I get fiber optic directly to the house, which I think could be in maybe a year from now, from the provider, then we can look into things like total, generator backup for the event that power goes out. Power here in Costa Rica goes out way more frequently than internet, by the way, especially fiber optic. Fiber optic tends to be very reliable, going out maybe once or twice a year, I think it's happened, where they've been working on it, that sort of thing. So that's what happened yesterday. Pudding says, please no coronavirus today. I agree. Yeah, my internet is feeling better, Copperbeardy. Thanks for that right there. So stream's not going to break anymore? I don't know. But it's good. What else? Okay, no worries. Timing was interesting. At least the wording. Yeah, was I talking about coronavirus or something? Probably. Yeah, my worries. My apologies for that. Yeah, I think I talked a little bit about it yesterday. But as of yesterday, I had one kid who was in quarantine, one who was trying to get a coronavirus test and living in Washington, D.C. The first daughter was in Seattle. She was in quarantine. Then my son was sick, not feeling well, but insisting that it wasn't coronavirus. Other son was good. And that's the four that aren't with us? Yeah, those are those people. I feel like there's something else relevant that I need to say. Oh, then we found out that one of the people at our school was exposed, her husband was exposed to one of the coronavirus confirmed folks who had come in from Wuhan. So we're like, oh no. And so they closed the school locally, at least for the next 4 days. My kids are doing classes online now. Since yesterday and today, I found out that my daughter in Washington, D.C. Is feeling a little bit better. Still has not heard back from the health department. So she contacted the health department about 36 hours ago. This is in Washington, D.C., asking for a coronavirus test. And they said it would be 24 hours before they got back to her. And it's been 36. Still hasn't heard from them. My daughter, who was quarantined, she was quarantined because her roommate had a coworker who was exposed to coronavirus in Seattle. That quarantine apparently today has ended. However, and school is canceled. She's a teacher in the Seattle area. And however, her company's telling her they still want her to do community events. To which she's like, yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't feel right right now. And my son I haven't heard back from yet this morning. And so that's kind of my latest update. Just want to let everybody know in case I didn't finish that yesterday and you were worried about that. Oh yeah, Design Pattern says the last word I said was coronavirus and then the stream stopped. Flave Creations is out there. Rawr! Code Rush question: is there any way to set test code coverage to auto ignore the test project and the migrations folder, so I don't have to do the data annotation exclude from code coverage? I think the answer is yes to that, but I'm not sure if it is if it's out there and shipping yet. Let's open up a new instance of Visual Studio. And see if I can find my way through the options and see if it's here. Because I remember that we were talking about something similar. Design Patterns, hope everything goes good for you and yours as well as the stream today. Me too. I was like right in the middle of it, and then it's out, and then now I'm talking to the business next door, and I'm like, so when do you expect it to come back up? And they're like, in like about 4 hours was what we've been told. 4 to 5 hours. It was like 5 hours. It's like, all right, so it's like over for today. Let's see if I can figure this out here. Yeah, no, it's definitely not. I'm not seeing it here. Let me make a note of it, all right? And I will, I'll make a point to talk to the devs about it after the stream, and we'll see what's going on with that, and I'll get you some information on that, Copperbeardy. Yeah. If we don't have it in there, it shouldn't be hard to add and give it to you in a future update. That seems like a pretty easy thing to put in there. Oh, look, who's here? Good time to practice my swimming. Yeah. Swimming. Crackberg's in the house. Yeah, that's so funny, Crackberg. I'm still deciding if that's really bad or really good aim. Yeah. See, the iceberg isn't that big. You're right. From a distance, it's pretty small. And at your flying speed, yeah, I think you need flying lessons from Jetsam, says Copperbeardy. And now for some code. Look who's here. Ooh. Ha! Ho! Ho! Ha! Coding Gorilla. Things are getting serious. Boom. So today, it's all about sprinkles. Sprinkles. The Battle Unicorn. That's where we were yesterday. We were in the middle of writing some code out there, and let's go jump back into that. Let's see if we can figure this out. Frackbird, hadn't seen that one before. So Sprinkles, this is the guy right here. That's Sprinkles right there. Let me do this. Let me say drone one, and I'm kind of sick of all of these coins.
Genesis 7, where are you? We need your help.
Everybody's showing up at the same time today.
I am.
Thanks, Genesis 7, for showing up. It's not a show without you. Yeah, I know, Cody Gorilla. It's a little bit fun, isn't it? You were hoping to be productive. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, yeah. So here's what I got, kids. I sent most of these to PNG Gauntlet. These three I have not. So these are giant still. I managed out of these right here. I took out, I think, 1/4 of a gigabyte. I managed to take away 250 something megabytes of extra PNG data that we were compressed away with PNG Gauntlet out of these. So, I'm not kidding. This is huge, what I'm about to throw at my machine. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to be like, phew, or crying, just big tears today. But this is what I got. I got these here. I've got these different animations. In each one of these animations, like Gray's, for example, I've got a certain number of body animations and a certain number of horn animations. So here, for example, I think we looked at this yesterday. There were like 300 animations for Gray's. At 30 frames a second, that works out to about 10 seconds of animation for grazing. And then we've got, along with that, I've got to separate it out, the horn animation here. And we wrote an app that calculates the perfect bounding box for the animation. And so that's what you're seeing here is it's calculating how big that box needs to be. That same app creates a text file for us so we can figure out the offset for where to put this horn to exactly overlay it on top of this one. For example, if we look at Gray's body 173, you see the horns down in the bottom left here, right there. If I hold my hand still, I don't know if I can or not. We go down to 173 of the horn, we should see it in the exact same location. Well, if we were to move it, and get it all lined up like we're supposed to. I guess that was not as good of a prediction as I thought it should have been. But if we do this right and we do our math right, and and these numbers are right, everything should be okay. What's happening? Everything should be okay. Well, what's happening here in the text file is we are taking the top left of where we ultimately cropped that 1920 by 1080 file and marking it. That's what's happening. So for each one of these animations I've created a folder. In the folder, there are two sets of animations, one for the body, one for the horn. that's what I have. Now what I want to do next is I want to come in and I want to write some code to load this up. And where we left off yesterday was inside sprinkles.ts. Rory was on the phone with us, and I was like, all right, I'm going to create a horn body pair class. And it's going to take a file base name. And I think it's going to take, in addition to these two parameters, it's going to have to also take an offset y and an offset x is what it's going to have to take. So we will get that. We've got some great music here to really inspire us. So we've got a file-based name. So at this point, we've got two sets of sprites. So now what we want to do is we want to say body dot body dot equals. You know what I want to do? I want to go find some example code out here because I'm going to struggle through this if I don't get the initialization code here correct. This looks not bad. I can work on that. Work with that. So it's equal to new sprites. We need the folder. We need to get out to it. So it's going to be in, this is the folder we get out to. So I think I'm going to say Dragon H. Nope, Dragon H is where we get. So it's going to be sprinkles slash, and then the file base name. And I think if I've done this correctly in all of these, idle. Nope, I didn't do it the right way. Idles are named differently from this. So I'm going to need a folder name and a base name is what I'm going to have. So I want one more piece in here, one more folder, like that. How do I do this? I forget how to do this. I think I have to do this. Is that it? No, it's outside. And also I need to do that. Like that. Okay, so sprinkles folder. Let's hard code the, or maybe not. Somewhere we want to do a line of code that's kind of equal to Dragon H. It's probably already set correctly. Like that. Pudding of fanfares, 500 animations, all the puddings. Okay, so the file name is going to be right here. The file base name. And then if we look at that, then it's going to end with the word body, or it's going to end with the word horn. So whatever that base name is, and it's going to end with the word body or horn. So we're going to say body, like that. This is the frame count. So we need to pass that in too. Expected frame count, or why not just do frame count? Like that. Hope everybody's out there is practice safe today. Okay. Animation style is generally loop, but there's one that's a different animation style, and that is the death scene. When Sprinkles dies, or Sprinkles actually doesn't die because he's kind of an ethereal kind of, magical creature. But when his hit points drop to 0, the animation I've got for him has him ending in this position. And in that position, it's no longer a loop in this animation. It's the only animation that's not a loop. Well, that's actually not true. That is not true. My idle to walk and idle to attack transitions are not loops either. So they end and they don't come back. So does this become a parameter? I think maybe it does. Let's default it though to animation style.loop. Like that. This is the frame interval. So what we want to do here is we want to say FPS 30. So this is the frame rate right here. So we're going to do that. There's the animation style. Pad file index is going to be true. This is an option that if set to true, and we're counting through, it's going to look for zeros, prefixes, pads with zeros is what's happening. So if I say there are 10 animations, it's going to look for 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. And if I don't have that option on, then it's just going to look for 0, 1, 2, etc. all the way through. So I'm going to say yes, true to that. What's this? Hit floor function. When it hits the floor, no, I don't need anything there. What is this? Oh, when it hits the floor, oh wait. This is my on load. I think I got a Visual Studio bug here. The bug is that it's cropping out the ending of the tooltip. Get away. Get away. Get away. Oh, I did reach up and just put it on my... Ah! No! No, C# Fritz. Why? How you doing, buddy? Digital puppetry. Oh, I hope you saw my response out there in Discord, Jeff. I can do the live coders transitions and stuff like that. You may have responded and I just haven't seen that. So Flying Head is very fitting for C# Fritz. That's awesome. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this a Visual Studio bug is what it looks like to me. I'm looking at the tooltip. I think it's because my font size is bigger than normal. Maybe. But I'm not seeing the end of this. So I'm just going to take a screenshot. Can I hold my Alt key down without losing it? I can. All right, I took a screenshot of that. I'm going to start up my image app. I'm going to paste it inside, and then afterwards I will report it. It's about 25 minutes into the show. I will do all of those things. And my good friend Dustin Campbell, on the Visual Studio team. He's like my go-to guy. Yeah, right there. We should be seeing more of this or something, be able to see it. I don't understand what's going on. I've got room off to the side. I see what he thinks about that. It's about 25 minutes here. Just making a note of it so we can see on the show where it is. Okay, so what's this? So on Loaded Funk, I see more here, but that's it. So I don't think I need any of these. I'm just gonna pass it in over there. So there is my body. And now I'm gonna do the same thing for the horn. So the horn comes in here, and the only thing different is it's gonna have the word horn here. And then the engine's gonna go through, add all the numbers, load up all the bits. The frame counts are gonna be the same for both of those. That's my horn body pair. Now, I think what I also need inside of Sprinkles is a collection of my horn body pairs. Is what I think I need. So can I do that? What is it? There it is. So it's a CodeRush template here. Basically, I just did this variable array dot and then this for what's on the clipboard, and I expanded that. And so it's giving me this right here. So then we're going to say call these maybe the parts like that. Lily has a link to the logos for you. Excellent, Jeff. Yeah. I've been actually. This is something that's been on my mind. I've been kind of wanting to do this, Jeff, for a while. Right? Because I wanted to have something on my show when a live coder came in and I didn't have a specific fanfare for them to just like, come in to remind everybody about the live coders. And the way I'm imagining it is the kind of the gears are coming in and up, at least for my fanfare. I'm not sure about the transition. But we can talk about the specs and what you want. If you want like a transition where you go from one scene to another, I can create that as well. I think that's what you're asking for. Just kind of let me know what you're asking for. But here on this show, I wanted to have a fanfare. So if anybody from the Live Coders team came in and we didn't have a specific fanfare for them, if they get a generic Live Coder fanfare. In fact, I was thinking about making like maybe 2 or 3 so that people wouldn't see the same thing every time. So there'd be just kind of picked from one of those 3 or whatever that were there. Anyway, okay, so we want to have an array of these like this. So in our constructor, we want to say parts is equal to new. Really not going to give that to me, huh? Oh, because I didn't say this. Let me recall that I'm in the right, and now do the space, and now you're giving it to me? No. Let's for a second turn off IntelliRush and see if, yeah, all right, I'm just going to paste it. I was hoping for IntelliSense there to kick in. All right, so we're going to create a new array there. Then I'm going to create a function called load this dot load parts. Sure, why not? And let's declare that. Get out there. Let's put it down here. I thought either gears rolling through from left to right is the wipe. Yeah, that's easy to do. We can totally do that. In fact, we can do that with the logo right inside as it's going. Pretty easy to do, like one of those or a couple variations of those. But I think you might also want like maybe opening and closing, equivalent fanfares as well. Like something that says here we're starting the Live Coders conference, and here's the end, or something like that. I think my sense is you want at least 3. Something like that. Funny how easy it is to make gears with PowerPoint. Oh yeah, it is super easy to do gears with PowerPoint. But I want to use the actual gears that we have. Yeah, so Jeff's like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. So send me that. So basically I need to know exactly kind of what you need, your criteria for success, and when you need it by. Those are the 3 pieces of information I need. And hopefully you don't need it for your delivery date is like 10 days away. Because 10 days away gives me next weekend. This weekend is going to be taken, but 10 days away I can totally get something like that. And I get something super basic and easy and simple sooner if the criteria is sooner. Okay, so now I've got load parts right in here. And I want to do something else here. I want to go take my parts and I want to do a for each down here in my draw. And I think I want to do this. The part is a...
Michael
Who's here, kids?
Is in the house.
Hey, Michael, how you doing, buddy? It's nice to... Oh, you hit my hand. I was just waving politely. That's the end of Michael. We'll never see him again. Maybe just me, but I feel like we're rushing this code. All right. Let's get out of C# and get back into TypeScript. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. So now I've got my horn body pair. And now I want to come in here and say draw on it. And I want to pass in the context now. And that's it. Like that. Okay. Now I want to declare that. I wonder if it'll be able to declare that from here. Can you get it and get the types? Nice. Good job, Visual Studio. All right, so here we go. Now we're in the draw, and now what we want to do is we want to say something to the effect of body.draw now and the context. And then after that, we want to draw the horn because we're drawing the horn on top of this. Now, I don't have the color animation yet separate from it yet, but we're going to get that. We'll figure that out. Okay? Now, there may be no entries in this. And so what happens if I go in and say body.draw, let's jump into it. There you go. Looking for that line of code right there. So we'll make the call and just come right back out if it doesn't have any sprites inside of it. Okay. I feel like that's pretty good. I like that smile from Mark with just a hint of disgust. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things about recording yourself is you can go back and check. I wonder if that hint of disgust was clearly visible or not. And you go back and you look at it, and you're like, oh yeah, that it was. I'm not hiding anything, kids. I think something, and it's just like wow, right here. It comes out my mouth or my face. Rushing this jolly code. All right. What do we got here? We got load parts. Okay, now we want to come into load parts and we want to say, we want to start creating these horn body pairs from here. So we're going to say this dot parts dot push new, not what I wanted to have on the clipboard, horn body pair is what I thought I had. And we're going to start filling out the details here like this. I'm just looking at this thinking, you know, these lines of code are going to be kind of long and hard to read. Wondering if I want to change anything yet, and I'm not going to. Bald Bearded Builder says, I'm hooking up Azure Face API to check that sentiment. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice. Happiness 20%, contempt 40%, disgust 40%. By the way, in times of crisis, right, I love how, you know, it's the coders and the scientists and, you know, and scientists of all kinds, right? Folks that rely on data who can step up and say, okay, here's how we are going to save the day. This is what makes the most sense. I just love that. And your chat message, Bald Bearded Builder, about, you know, using, hooking up the Azure Face API reminded me that there's like so many developers out there that have a strong sense of, you know, their individual areas of expertise and what they can do and how to manipulate them, that sort of thing. You've seen examples of this again and again and again. Richard Campbell has a number of humanitarian projects that he works on, for example. And you just see this, you see a large percentage of developers out there who are like, here's what I'm going to do to take care of my community. And I love it. I think it totally makes up for all the bad developers that are, you know, doing malevolent things, and makes up for, you know, everybody else who is, you know, trying to get you to sell you something, right? Let's look at facts, let's look at evidence, that sort of thing. So I love that. How scientific do you have to be in this current situation? Watch your darn hands, greasy people. Well, it's that, and also the other thing is distance. Social distancing is incredibly key in looking at this, and also a third component, which is tracking, you know, potential spread of you know, who's been in contact with who. So all of those things are there. All right, so the folder we want to go to, since we're here, let's bring this one up. Idle to walk. No, let's not. Let's do these one at a time. Let's go back up one level. This will start with battle cry. So first folder is battle cry. The base file name is similarly, well, it's battle cry space dash space. Like that right there. I'm a programmer. I always practice social distancing. That's why I'm on Twitch and not at a conference. Yeah. Frankfurt says, I've been prepping for this my whole life. Isn't that awesome? I know. I was thinking the same thing. My wife, who is a social butterfly, is just like, how will we survive? And I'm like, I got this. I got this, baby. Cover build Beardy says, telling you use a dog as a face mask since they can't catch it. That's right. Did you see my retweet this morning, guys, about who? It was so funny. Hold on a second. Let me grab just the tweet up here. Who's here? Who could that be? Where is my tweet from this morning? Let me jump out to me. see my tweets. I don't see it. Oh, no, there it is right there. Here it comes. I'll get it for you. Coming up. This I thought was so much fun. Right here, this tweet. The World Health Organization has announced that dogs cannot contract COVID-19. Dogs previously held in quarantine can now be released. To be clear, who let the dogs out? It's my favorite. Kobe South is asking, did you get your good news, Copperbeardy? No, my chat with the people is in 90 minutes-ish. I don't think I'm aware of what the good news is, but I hope you get good news. Okay, so we got those two. Frame count. What's my frame count? My frame count is, for Battle Cry. Holy cow! Doesn't look good. If only Sex Positive were here. She's here!
In the house.
Is the "you are my favorite" message custom? What are you saying? It had better be me. My favorite just got here. Is the "you are my favorite" message custom? Oh, I see. Sex Positive is asking that. It might not be Sex Positive. It might not be. There might be a random number of very positive things that Mr. Announcer Guy picks from when you come up, but it's meant to make you feel good. So, how's it going, Sex Positive? How you doing with the whole family? We've self-quarantined the family, by the way, essentially, but the school also closed for 4 days. So, kids are out taking online courses. How's everything going outside my office right now, Sex Positive? Everything good? She's like, are you kidding me? I think that's a reaction to the "you are my favorite" not being a custom message just for her. All right, baby, maybe I'll go back and I'll write some code just for you, special messages that show up just when you come in. So we got 138 plus 1, so 139 because the count starts at 0. So we got 139 frames of animation here that we're bringing in. The offset X and Y, that is going to be where do we want to kind of, when we say we want this guy at this position, what's going to line up? And I'm not sure right now if it's going to be one of his feet or if it's his eye. But I actually think it doesn't matter because I just realized that in this piece right here, we have the data we need. We can actually compare this with other bodies. So once we set this one, when we get the other one, we'll see what the left and top offsets are, and then we'll offset that appropriately, is what we'll do. So I think we're going to be okay. Kind of doesn't really matter, but let's get something rough that does kind of make sense. So if we're positioning this guy, I'm feeling it's under his eye by his feet. So the XY position that I want to give for this, the offset for this is, what am I at? I'm at 123, 659. Okay, so I'm going to say 123, 659. Okay. Then I need the horn offset. So the horn offset is going to be those same numbers minus the deltas between here. So let me open this one up. So we've got that. So we've got that open right over here now. And now let's go down to the second one, Battle Cry, and get this. And you know, it's occurring to me I could automate all this, but I'm like kind of okay not automating it because there's just a few I have to do at the beginning that I'm done. Whose eyes are not big enough? Oh, yeah, we've got eyes are coming later. Eyes are coming later. We first have to see, we have to get through today to make this work. So the body is here. The left position does not change. Okay? So we're gonna change, we're gonna come over here and the left position is still gonna be 123. right? The top position, though, comes down by 55. So we had 55 to the top position. Well, you know what's going to make sense here? Let's make these delta offsets. And then so that I just have to do that, like that. Let's come in here and change the horn body pair. And now we want to say this is going to be horn delta offset X and horn delta offset Y. Then I want to come down in here and I want to say, look, now that I've created the body, I haven't actually done this yet, but I want to say, what is it? Origin X is equal to offset X. Let's rename this to origin X. I'm hitting F2. Is it that I don't have F-lock on? I had F-lock on. Okay. Origin X, like that. And duplicate this line, and we're going to change this to a Y, like that. And we're going to rename offset Y to origin Y, like that. And I'm going to get rid of the offset here. It's just going to be horn delta X and horn delta Y. Then I want to come down into horn like this, and I want to see the origin X is equal to origin X plus horn delta X, like that. And the same thing down here. So now theoretically, the horn is going to be overlaid on top of the other piece with these pieces of data right here. So now I've just added battle cry only. Okay, so I think that's not bad. Now, do I have an instance of the class sprinkles created anywhere yet? It looks like I might. I've created the new sprinkles there. Yeah, and I call load parts. Getting some flowers coming in right here. Surly's in charge. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any chat messages here. Okay. All right. And we're calling sprinkles draw as well. Okay, next we need to now do a simple test. So the last thing I did yesterday in this world is I added show sprinkles and high sprinkles here, these buttons. I did it using XAML's hot reload, which is one of my absolute favorite features of Visual Studio, especially with WPF development. If I click on show sprinkles, I get a breakpoint? No. Let's find that. How can you bypass Twitch's spam filter? Are you hit by it, Pudding? Special powers, Pudding. It may be too that SurlyDev is a moderator, and so he's got the ability to do this. Pudding, I don't want to give you too much control, Pudding.
Hey, Mark.
But I think I'm doing it. Hold on. I can't stop myself. Here's my mod button here. I'll make you a moderator. Where is it? Do I have to switch to my mod view? Should be able to seed repeatedly too. But I was thinking because it's a moderator. But I'm not seeing any menu option when I bring up Pudding here, and I think I may have to switch to non-mod. Oh, I'm already in non-mod settings. Let's just see what happens. Switch to mod settings. Hold on. Let's see what happens now. Nope. It's not where I remember it being. seems like I'm getting demoted. I'm going to figure it out later, Pudding. I don't see it. Show moderation actions is on. All right, I don't get it. All right, anyway, let's get back over here. I think we need a breakpoint is what we need, and we need to send some data. Well, I am kind of doing a show sprinkles call over here. Let's go into, let's set a breakpoint here anyway. I think I want to change this a little bit. And I think the first command is going to be appear behind, like that. That's what I think I want it to be. And we'll go ahead and send that. And now what I want to do is let's get our get this and refresh it. Now we should be able to set a breakpoint. Find connection.ts, and we're looking for animate sprinkles. We're looking for a breakpoint here, essentially. I think what I'm going to do here is, I think I already created an animate sprinkles. Here comes Jetsam. Don't drop any bombs on me, Jetsam. Jetsam's in the house. Welcome, Jetsam. I want, what is it? Do I have an animate sprinkles? Sprinkles? Draw sprinkles? I don't want draw sprinkles. I think I'm going to just say animate sprinkles. I guess I got to build it in. And I need to put this in both of these locations, I think. I want to send the command data in, that's what I want to do. So now I need to declare this. There's the one in the back game. I thought for sure I already had sprinkles code in here I wrote yesterday. Just the draw? Okay. Yeah, it's specifying the layer. Yeah. Okay, so now I think we need this. I think there's a this dot sprinkles dot execute command, and then pass in the command data. And I think we're going to also say, hey, we're coming in from the layer back. That's what I think we're doing. And actually, before we do that, wait, let's look at draw sprinkles a second. Aren't we checking here? No, that's up in Dragon Game. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm okay with that. Actually, I don't care about the layer. I think I've decided. So we're going to do that. That's the implementation here. In fact, I think this implementation can go up inside of Dragon Game, which is the ancestor for both Dragon Front Game and it's the ancestor for both Dragon Front Game and Dragon Back Game. So now we've got this execute command. Let's go implement that. And I think we're just going to do a real simple thing here. Well, what's the command string coming in? It's appear behind. I'm not sure I like this command name yet, but I think it's going to look like this. So if command data equals appear behind, then we're going to say this so now it's a little tricky here. Because now we've got to go find get part. Hold on, I want to do one other thing. Since the folder name is essentially also equal to the name of the sprite, I'm going to set it in here. I'm going to say, in fact, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to get rid of that. No, I'm not, because I like the word folder there. So I'm going to say this.name equals folder. Like that. Okay. My constructor creating new instances? Yeah, it is. There it is. Creates a new instance of body and horn, and it initializes name. So now what I want to do is I want to say something like this. I'm going to get a horn body pair. Let horn body pair equal get horn body pair, and we're going to pass in battle cry. And we're going to say if not null, then we're going to say, or we can just say, hey, if it's something, right? Then we can come in and say horn body pair dot body dot add, and now we're going to add where it's going to come in from. For now, I'm going to say we're going to throw them like maybe over there a little bit, like right over there. So that's it's about 2,000 across, so about 1,000 here, so it's about 500 is the X. Maybe a little more to the left. We'll do about 100 is the X. So there's a chance his butt's not going to be covering up my face. And the Y, we're going to say, since we said it was down near the bottom, we're going to say it's about 1070, like that. So that's going to put it, that's going to create a new body animation there. And then we're also going to come in and add the horn as well, but I'm going to call add shifted. And I'm going to specify that the Q shift as 220, which means the horn's going to go to about blue. All right, and that's what I'll mess with there. This needs to be a this dot. And this add, and that should be all we need to see the animation based on what we've built. Let's add this right here. And we'll return this. We'll change this to name. We are going to go through the parts. I don't think I can do a for each here because I want to return it is what I want to do. So I want to do, instead of this, I want to do a FRI template to go do this. And then I want to come down and say horn body pair is equal to, I need a let in front of this, equal to this.parts of I. And then I'm going to say if not null, why not? Or in other words, like this. If this and horn body pair dot name equals name, then I'm going to say return horn body pair. And then down here, I'm going to say return null. So there's get horn body pair. Let's rename this so it's consistent with JavaScript syntax. So it's lowercase right there. And now let's see how we're doing here. Let me do a, let's send a doc command out there. Clean up the screen a little bit. I think that's it. So let's do a refresh. There's a shot we're going to see some animation here. That refresh seemed to work, but I'm not seeing, I think there's an error because I'm not seeing what I'm expecting to see here. I normally see a message saying we're ready to go. Okay, what's wrong? Cannot set property origin X of undefined. Looks like I get rid of the horn line of code. Sprinkles.ts. Yeah, it looks like I got rid of the horn. What version of TypeScript are you using? I'm not sure I can find that out. How do I know? How can I determine that, guys? Tell me and I will tell you. All right. Close this down. Refresh. It's going to be my Visual Studio help. About. Look in your package.json. Look at the package.json. Got a tsconfig.json, package.json right here. I don't see something that's telling me the version of TypeScript. That's not, that's I think the version of my stuff, right? Oh, TSC -- version. I think you were saying that I can execute that inside of a, what is it, the immediate window? I'm not sure where I would do that. Tell me where the TSC -- version needs to go. Let me know. Okay, meanwhile, command window or PowerShell. Okay. Just want to get here. Okay. Well, it should be a good time to emphasize that.
Disclaimer! Doesn't know Jack!
No Jack. Just a console window. Okay, so you're using whatever's installed with Visual Studio. I have no idea what it is. In your project setting, there's a tab for TypeScript. Okay, let's take a look at that. There you go. Version 3. Okay. Let's try refreshing. Looks like that worked. Now we've got this piece right here. Let's just double check to see if the console window has any error messages in it. client method with the name update clock found in signal R. That might be, is that, oh wait, hold on, no, this is not good. Ooh, battle cry's not loaded up. Oh look, sprinkles. There's no slash between the word sprinkles and Dragon H. It looks like I need this right here. Let's try that. Refresh. So the reason I asked is because there are lots of utility methods in TypeScript you can use, like array.find. Yeah, does that work in 3.0? The command is not defined at window.unload. A lost execute command? Oops, sorry. Cannot find game. Wait, what's going on here? We got a problem with our... It feels like there's like an extra... like an extra closing brace. Add windup is here. Wait, what's happened here? Here's... Oh, here. There we go. Animate sprinkles was just missing the closing one. All right, one more time. Refresh. Yeah, I got to refresh myself with array.find. Dennis7, what is that icon you've got there, buddy? How you putting hats on me, buddy? What kind of secret stuff is going on? How we doing? Okay, better. It looks a lot better. That means we're loading up. In fact, you can see we're loading the horn right here. We've already background loaded the horn and the body. So now, let's initialize data. I'm going to click this button right here. And that should get rid of that text right there. Good. And then now I'm going to click this button right here to show sprinkles. And we might, if we're lucky, see something here. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. Get lower res than it is. So there's my 1920 by 1080 mark right there. It's kind of scaled out. Let's choose show sprinkles. Oh, look at that. Wow. Not bad. The horn is obviously not in the right spot. Why is that? Let's go figure out the horn issue first. Let's see, that's over in sprinkles. We're adding the delta Y. We're saying it should be 55 lower, but he says that is pretty cool though. Yeah, it's not bad. Array.find is a JavaScript thing, although not supported in IE. Okay. I don't have to worry about whether it's supported or not because this is only running on one browser, well, two. Chrome here that we're testing in, standalone, but also the browser that's inside of OBS. Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool. This is a very large image, and if we can sustain the hit on resources during the show, it's going to be awesome. Let's take a look at where we're at. We're pretty reasonable right now. Only 50% CPU right now, and 30% memory. So I think it's feeling like I got a shot at this. Let's figure out why the horn's not lining up, though. So go over to Battle Cry. The top here was 325. Okay, let's open these two up side by side again. I use the best browser for downloading your true browser. Oh, we can't say that. We can't say that to our friends at Microsoft who work so hard. All right, hold on. Battle Cry horn there, and Battle Cry body here. Pudding says, if they worked as hard as we think, IE would be more than just a meme. Even Microsoft capitulated to Chrome. Yeah, well, speed is crazy important. It's super important. All right, so I got 30 plus 25. It's down by 55. I'm passing in 55 for it to push it down. Is my logic right? Maybe I need to subtract. Let's play with that. I think there's a shot I need to subtract it instead, because the way the origin works is asking where is it relative, and then when I say I want to go here, then it offsets it. So if I increment the offset, it's going to go up, but if I decrement it, it'll go down. Yeah, I need to subtract here, I think. So this should be minus, and that should be minus, right there. Let's try that, and that might just fix it. So refresh. Actually, before I refresh, I want to throw... I want to push this off. I want to make this even further over to the side. I want to make it 200, so he's not off screen. Refresh one more time. Okay, refresh is done. Here comes initializing player data. Yeah, this could be really cool. It's a crazy impact. Like if somebody proposed this to me on the team, I would be like, you know, because we're putting this giant image on 2 different layers because we want them to be able to walk behind the players, the videos of the players, and then walk in front of them as well. And so there are maybe more efficient ways to do this by changing the spec. All right, let's do it. We're going to click the Show Sprinkles button. Oh, did nothing happen? Oh no, I just didn't click it. Look at that. Sweet. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together, kids. All right. Nice. Now I think I want to play with cycling the hue of that horn. That's going to require a change, I think, to our, that's so cool. It's like I can't take my eyes off of this. Even though it's the same loop going again and again, it's like pretty dynamic. And I think next to the players, right, imagine that like behind something like that. This is not even life size, right? Life size, let's reset it. Yeah, this guy's going to be big. It's going to be that's the animated sprite right behind me right there. It's going to be giant. And I think by the time we're done, we'll be able to make it look kind of close to realistic, have a number of emotions, be able to shoot sparkles out of its rhino horn, out of its horn, and do some other things. I think it's going to be so much fun. All right, cool. You want to take a look, honey? Yeah, your thing. This is your steed. I don't have it. It's just on a test window right here, but that's what it's going to look like right there, about their regular size. And I'm already shifting the hue of the horn, and I'm about to have it cycle through rainbow colors.
Yeah, because I don't like the pink one.
Yeah.
No for the pink one.
Really? Okay.
That's enough.
What if it cycles through just momentarily and then moves on?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's kind of like that's the pitch I've been giving Karen every night on whether I could stay or not. We could stay together.
Almost like we can be.
Yeah, it's every night. That's what it's like. All right. So let's get that off screen. We'll move that over here. It's just going to let it keep animating. Let's double check our hit. Our hit's still low. Look at that. So nice in terms of CPU power and memory. Feel good about that. Let's see if we can get that cycling going on here. So that's down low inside of below sprites is what it is. We want to get into... Go jump in here. Let's find our way down through the architecture. Down in sprites, this is a list of parts. And parts is where we, I think, do the a lot of the work, I think. No, it's in Sprite. Sorry. We want to go to Sprite. No, we want to go to color shifted Sprite is what we want to do. It's a descendant of Sprite Proxy. So let's jump to Sprite Proxy. Let's come in here. Let's use CodeRush to go to the derived types. There it is, color shifting Sprite Proxy. Here, ooh, hue shift per second. Did I already add it? Oh, looks like we're good. We're like so good. Oh, because the boombox does it. The boombox is already doing it. We added this for the boombox. Okay, sweet. I don't have to add anything new. I just have to come into the horn. It's going to be like stunningly simple, like one line of code. We're going to come in here and we're going to say this dot horn dot how much hue shift per second we do. 4 seconds. I think it's 90 degrees. Every second we're going to go 90 degrees. So 4 seconds we'll do a full wrap through. And actually, sorry, it's not here. It's inside when we add shifted here. I can just come in and say hue shifts per second is equal to 90. Because what the add shifted returns an instance of it. And since I only want to modify one property of it, I can do that right like there, that line of code. Okay, so let's refresh. And I think that thing is going to cycle through. Here's the refresh. Refresh is done. I'm going to choose, click initialize player data. Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't think we saw the, I want to see the error. No? I feel like I didn't see the console error message, but it could have been because I was scrolled up or down. That's probably what was going on. Now let's click on show sprinkles. Nice. I'm going to slow that down a little bit. Take it down to 45. So 8 seconds for full resolution, revolution. Okay, initialize player data. All right, show sprinkles. And there's background loading when it flickered a little bit coming in. That's totally cool. Yeah, this engine is, we did a pretty good job at this engine. I might slow it down even more, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, the cool thing about that horn cycling is it makes the regular animations look like they're maybe longer, right? Even though we're just seeing the same one in a loop, it gives you more interesting things to look at. I'm going to slow it down just a bit. Change it to 30. Show sprinkles. There's background loading as it's bringing the pieces up. Yeah, that's better. That's more what I like right there. I like it. That means, holy cow, you ready for this, kids? That means, refresh the back overlay. Click initialize player data. Here it comes live over the stream. Show sprinkles. Okay, that's one animation. Let's review each animation. Let's load each animation up and review it, take a look at it. What's happening over here? Oh, you know what's happening over here? I clicked show sprinkles multiple times. Here, I'll bring it over here so you can see it. There's 2 in a row. We're not getting rid of the other ones. And because we're drawing the horns last, yeah, that's not going to be any good. So we need to clean up. We need some cleanup code out here. If I hit it again here, and show sprinkles, there you go. I can keep doing it. Now you can see the problem. See it? All right. Let's do a refresh on that overlay so it's not blocking so much of the screen. Okay. Initialize player data. How did you get these sprites marked? Is asking. Pudding is asking. I got these from. Oh, this is crazy over here. Here, you want to see something wild, a little mind blowing? Look at this. A little bit funny. But the other thing that's cool about this is it shows the power of the animation engine, right? It's like this animation engine is, and also, you know, the machine, all of this. This looks like about 14 or so of these creatures all moving around, somewhere around between 10 and 14. And you can see how smoothly it's animating those. Refresh that right there. Yeah, definitely trippy, says Deepwater. Yeah, so where did I get these? Let me show you where I got these. I have a subscription to elements.envato.com. And I just came in here and I said, let's look for stock video. And I said, Rhino. And I got a number of them right here. Different looking rhinoceros pieces with alpha channel behind them. This was one of the contenders, but ultimately the one I selected was one that had more of a larger variety of idle and attack animations than any of the others that were out there. I felt like I could do something with it, create a creature that looked like it was alive. That's the goal, and interesting, and not look like it was in a loop. That's what I was trying to do. It's a huge challenge. I thought it was going to be a big challenge because I'm really worried about the amount of memory, you know, just the processor power we're sucking up by putting this in here, all of those things. So that's what I'm worried about. But it seems like we got a shot at making this work. So there's Battle Cry. So what I said I wanted to do is I wanted to play with the different animations that we have out there. So we've got Battle Cry. Let's come in here, create another one right here. We're going to let's go out to the folder. We're going to get the next one in the list. Dies. All right, fine. Here comes dies. And that also means that I can comment this out like that, and we'll play the dies one this time. Now this time, I want to adjust the offsets here by the difference between dies, what its upper left was and the other upper left one was. So there's dies. Where is the body? There it is right here. So Battle Cry was here. So the difference between the two appears to be -40. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create two constants here. I'm going to say this is going to be origin X. Let's say 139. And origin Y is going to be 123. Like that. Oops. Hold on. Yeah, I was on the frame count. 123 is what this is. The origin Y is 659. Like that. Next, dies. How many frames of animation do we have? 160. Then my origin X. Like I said, minus 40. So let's just do the math in my head a second here. Here the left is 310. Here the left is a little bit further off to the side. Coming down here, oh, I can't quite get it in my head. I'm losing it. I think I'm just going to binary approach this with a binary because I know it's either plus or minus here. And we're just going to see what that works out to. Origin Y, we'll try minus for now for both of these. It's either minus for both or plus for both. This is going to be, this one dropped and this one dropped as well by 23. We're going to say minus 23. And origin X of, now we need to then come in and we need to compare the dies text, the dies horn text with the dies body text and see what those deltas are right there. Dies body is here. Okay, so left stays the same, and 98 minus 47 is about 51. Is that right? Yeah, 51. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to change that to 51, right like that. And I think that's going to do it. And let's refresh and see if it works. So we're going to refresh here. And we're going to initialize player data. And call show sprinkles. And I don't see anything. What do I got? Errors? Oh, yeah. I should have checked just the errors at the beginning. It's not finding battle cry. Why did it stop finding battle cry? Oh, here's my problem. Okay, gotcha. Don't worry. It's dies dash. So it's dot this and then dies dash. Okay, one more time. We'll refresh. Good. Let's initialize the player data. And click show sprinkles. All looks good. All our assumptions were correct. Looks like the overlay in the back is drawing over it. Let me refresh that for a second. You can see it. Yeah. I just want to look and see for a second. Okay, this first frame of dies matches the last frame of battle cry because this is an attack, or in the first frame as well. They're the same, essentially the same image. So what would be very cool is to now sync up one followed by the other. Is what it would be. What would be cool. Do I have? So now I need an event that says I've played to the end. Do I have that already in the engine? Is the question. I don't think I do. Cycle? I feel like there's a cycle. I don't have an event. I have a descendant I can create that gives me the cycle. As I recall, hold on, let me bring it in here for you. Cycle. Cycle. And warp in sprite. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. There's this thing going on here in cycle. And cycled is, I think, yeah, essentially just, it's in here. I think I want to, pass in a callback, is what I think I want to do. What else am I putting these callbacks in there? Hey, Chris Jones is out there. How you doing, Chris? Chris is collecting some coins. Good. I'm glad you're good. Stay safe, for goodness sakes, kids. I feel like I need to give expertise lessons in avoiding social contact. But I simultaneously get the feeling that a lot of my viewers have already got that. They nailed that. All right, where are we setting up? There's another place where I'm setting up. I just want to see what I've done so far with regards to callbacks. Follow the who's in the sprites constructor. Yeah, I think I'm going to do something like that. So I think what that means now is I think I want to do this. I want to say body. Wait, not here. When I add a new part, I want to say dot add cycle callback, and then I want it to give it the function that we're going to call back, which is going to be this dot animation cycle, like that. I want to declare that. I feel like we need to get Fred back. Fred, you okay, buddy? Fred says is okay. Back overlay. I'm going to go to initialize player data to get rid of that text right there on the screen. Okay. When the animation is cycled, we want to pass in the sprite proxy. Like that. Let's get the sequence right here. So that's what we want to pass in. Let's go declare this. Nice, love that declaration, that's awesome. And then I want to get I'm going to create an array of these, I think. Call this the cycle callbacks. I've got on cycle callbacks. Then we're going to say if that doesn't exist, then we're going to say that's equal to new. gonna have to get this whole thing. Then we're going to say this dot add, no push, animation cycle. Okay. I think I also need a remove cycle callback. Add, let's rename this to add on cycle callback. And then I want another one that's like remove on cycle callback that looks like this we can just get out of here if we don't exist. And then here I want to say do I have a remove already built in for me? No, there's not a delete, is there? Split. Slice? I think I need split. Splice? So I need to find the index is what I need to do. And I think that's it. Next up is going to require a function to compare the items, Coding Gorilla says. I don't think so. Well, hold on. Oh, maybe you're right. How have I done this before? Yeah. So I'm starting to be able to see this here. The search element is a type that accepts the sprite proxy. So how do I do that is my question. I'm not sure how to do this. I think it's similar to this. Let me go do a search for all my other index objects inside of here. I thought I would just be able to be smart enough to find it since it's a pointer. Basically, we're talking about pointers, method pointers, I imagine. Let's see what we've got. Any examples of index of when I'm passing in a function? I do not. Although I have something here, but it looks like it's doing nothing. Yeah, I think it, for me, it's like, thinking Sprite proxy. Chris is asking if you're mixing C# with TypeScript, JavaScript. Well, I'm trying to figure this out, right? I'm like, it's not like that. If I do this by itself, is it okay? This is interesting. So the compiler says that's okay. Let me just double check this one more time. Maybe I was just misreading this. Hold on. Yeah, I think, this is going to work, Coding Gorilla. I'm pretty sure you're good here on this. I didn't read it the first time. Then when you said it, I looked at it, but I think I misread it when I looked at it. Now that I see it, search element is of type, basically a function, right? A function that takes a sprite proxy and returns a void. That's what it's looking for, and that's what I've got right up here. So search element is good there. I think we're good to go. And then I think the last thing I want to do here is I want to say, hey, if onCycle callbacks.length equals 0, then I want to set onCycle callbacks to null, like that. Okay, there's my remove. And then the last thing I want to do is I need to call them down here. So I want to say, hey, if that, then I want to do a for each onCycle callback is what I want to call it. And then I want to call it. And I want to pass it this. And, or maybe better to do this is to do this instead. Let's create a variable here. Hold on just a second. Okay, let's see. Just got some folks inside DevExpress talking to me. I wanted to come in here and say, get a variable for it that's basically let this. Maybe more like this instance, not like that. Because on the for each we lose the this because we're in this kind of generic function right here, and so I just want to store it here before we go down to the for each. And I think theoretically that makes sense and that's going to work. So now what that means is with this callback in place, we can now set up a callback. And it seems pretty efficient, right? It's just a quick check here to see, are you null or not null? And if it's not null, then we're going to go through all the callbacks that we've added in. Hold on one sec again. Oops, I got somebody else from DevExpress talking to me as well. Give me one more second to look at this. Sorry, kids. All right, good. Okay, those things are taken care of. We're back on track, I believe. Yep, looks like we're good. Okay. So we've done that. We've set up that architecture. That feels like it might work. Then now what I need to do is hook those up in sprinkles over here. So I think what we need to do So the idea is this: Sprinkles is a class that's going to have a lot of different animations, and it's going to decide which animation to play, but make sure it only plays one, and also make sure it's only playing on the right layer. Because that's the other problem, right? The layer, we may decide to move it from back to front. So what I want to do is I want to start writing that code to do that. Well, to do that, I need to know when one animation finishes so I can start the next animation. That's what I need to do. So I need to have a queue of animations that we're going to go through, run through that queue. And I need to have an event right about add-on cycle callback. Oh, look, we've got it. So sweet. Let's do this. Let's just see if that event works. Let's put in a console log here, and we'll say animation cycle. Like that, right? And let's just run that. Okay, so refresh this. Okay, there's the refresh. We're going to initialize the player data again. Then we're going to click show sprinkles. I think you're going to see it on the main one here too. It came in. But now I'm looking to see, there you go, animation cycle. Animation cycle, sweet. It's working. And let me refresh the streams overlay. So we're not seeing that anymore on the main screen. We're just watching back here. So there you go. Every time he drops and we get to the end, it says animation cycle. Sweet. Cool. All right. Next. We now need to go to the next piece. We need this queue. I'm not sure if JavaScript has this or TypeScript has this. I think it probably does. But let's find out. How do we do a queue? Queue in TypeScript. That doesn't look good. Let's do this. TypeScript. Looks like it's just called a queue class. InQ and DQ, just like C#. Okay, so I want to have, I think, a queue of strings. So we're going to say command queue. What do I have? Do I have something like this? No, queue. Why I'm not seeing a queue type in here. You killed it. Reports, what are we talking about? Oh, talking about, we killed it. You're talking about the, all right. It's not getting queue here. Oh wait, it's probably still an array. I bet it's just an array. I bet it's exactly that. It's just an array, right? So now when we get a command coming in, we are going to say, there's no enqueue. Come on. Oh, we can implement. This is telling me all the pudding right on top of it, right, pudding? Would be an interesting way to die. That's not good. I have an insert. I'm just thinking about writing it myself. Kind of what I'm thinking about. No. Why is this so hard to find? So q.shift. So basically, we're looking at the shift command is what is there. So we're going to say command q.push here, command data, like that, and then we're going to say if I want to create a function here that returns a Boolean, has animations running, and it's going to go through all of the parts. Doing this is a for loop instead. If this dot body dot sprites dot no count length is greater than 0, that means there's at least one sprite in here, that means it's running, and we're going to say return true. I don't need to check the horns as well because they are running in sync with the body. Okay, so if that's the case, then we're going to return true, and then otherwise down here we're going to return false. I think that code is correct, has animations running. So if we have animations running, all we're going to do is queue that command up, and then down here we're going to say execute this dot execute next command. Like this. And that's when we're going to hold on, just checking. All right, so now we're going to say command data is equal to this dot command q dot shift is what we found. That takes it So let's look at the help. Removes the first element from an array and returns it. Sweet. Okay, cool. There's our cube. And I think we also want to check the length in this right here, right? Because we need to be able to support it. Just like command q dot length equals 0, then we return. We're done. Okay. So if it's appear behind, well, that's the one command piece that we're coming in here. Let's change this. Let's make the command be, let's do this instead. Well, wait a second. Let's do, so I want to come in here and I want to actually add 2 commands to this is what I think I want to do. Or let's just maybe do we'll add 1 command, which is going to be dies, like that. And we're going to grab the battle cry instead. So if the command data is appear behind, that means we're going to start with the battle cry. And then when we're done with that battle cry, we're going to come in and we're going to push dies. Then what I want to do is down here, I want to have an else here. And then I just want to try something that looks like this. And I really need to start having an X and Y position for X. Well, I do. I have them right here. Let's initialize these. X is going to be 200 and Y is going to be 1070. And let's go back up. Y is 1070. So there's our initial positioning. We can change that later and have them come off screen. But I need this to be held in place so that when he walks, his X and Y position change. And that means we can also come down here and replace these 2 with that. This add shifted here doesn't really matter. We can start it off at 0. 30 degrees of hue shift every second. Okay, pushing the command dies. Then, now here's what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to get the command data and I want to try to grab it, find it here. And if we do find it, then I want to add it. I need my X and Y. Right here. So that's going to get us the dies the next time in. We also need in both of these places, essentially, we need something to clear all existing animations. We're going to do the same thing here. All right, let's implement that. We need something similar to what we've got up here. think there's a function on the sprites collection. Clear? I thought there was. See what that does. Let's just add it. Remove all sprites. You haven't needed to do this up to this point. We're going to clear this check right here, not check to see if it's expired or not. And if the sprite is still alive, if the sprite, wait, sprite is not still alive. Oh, we're doing, I think we don't need this either. Let's see what that does. So that works. And we need to do the same thing with the horn. All right, and we don't need to return true in here. And so I think that's clear animations. I think we've written all the code we need to test. Do that. Refresh. So now it should go through one animation, then switch to the next animation is what we're looking for. So let's give that a shot. See if that works. Okay, no errors here. Let's click on Show Sprinkles. There's the one animation. Nope, it's just in a loop. Sorry, kids, I just realized you're also watching the other one, the back overlay in front. Let me refresh that. So what's going on? I cycled. Oh, I'm only doing this. I need to execute next command in cycle. And I'm going to keep that console log there as well. Okay, one more time. Refresh. Let's do the same thing with the back overlay. Let's see if it works on the back overlay. We'll test that. Just another refresh. The back overlay. The mosquito flying around, snuck into my room. Here comes the initialized player data. Whoops. No, not going to work. Sorry, I see it, kids. That's what I want. One more time. Initialize the back overlay. Here's the refresh. Here comes the player data. Here comes the show sprinkles command. There's the one. Does he drop? Nope. Still going in circles. Also, he disappears at the end. Why is that? Execute next command. I think that's the old bug. I'm going to turn this off temporarily here on the stream. So we just have this one we're working with here. One more time. Initialize player data. Show sprinkles. There it is. Execute next command of undefined. Animation cycle. All right, that's what I think we need. We're binding it on there, then we'll have a this here. That's what I'm looking for. Let's try that. Refresh. Initialize player data. Show sprinkles. background loading the images, so there might be some flicker. Yeah, I think it worked. Wait, did not. Execute undefined. Still no? Oh, I lost it here. Right there. Okay, that's the other one. Try again. Here we go. Refresh. Console. So we'll let it background load these images right here. So there's horn. We've got the dies animation. There's the body. Let's initialize player data. There's the next horn, and then there's the next body. So now it's got all the animations in. Let's do it, and we should see both animations play back to back. Here we go. And then this one is looping. We're never getting rid of this one. So let's figure out that a little bit here. The dies animation style that's sequential stop. Let's refresh and watch it. Here it comes. Oops, it's going to flicker. Maybe I didn't hit the wrong button. All right, what do we got? Horn body, horn in. Now it's loaded. Here it comes. Okay, and then it freezes. Good. And then there we could drop it. What's interesting is check out the horn is still a little bit below screen, but the horn is cycling colors right there. You can't quite see it because Fred's blocking. There we go. There's that, and then we come and zoom in again. There we go. See, it's kind of cycling colors there. Okay. The transition seemed like it was correct from one to the other, but there was a flicker. I'm not sure what to do about the flicker, because I think the cycled event is happening after we're deciding not to draw it. One way we could solve that is by finding out, instead of saying we've gone all the way around to the beginning, do it when we have a second event for reach to end. What the battle unicorn? Yeah, Frank, the Rhino is the battle unicorn, and it's for the Dungeons and Dragons live stream. It's going to be out at it's going live this Sunday, right there. So you can go follow that if you're interested in seeing that. It's basically Dungeons and Dragons. Karen Mangicotti is going to be doing it. Kent Alstad is going to be part of that. He's a developer up in Canada, and a couple other improv actors are going to be part of that. So I'm looking at the calls to cycled, and I think that the way to fix that flicker during the transition is in this space right here. Marcus, voice programmer. Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Request for code rush. In addition to the drop marker, could we have the drop permanent marker that would persist even when the project is restarted? We actually have that. Let me show that to you. Options. They're called bookmarks. And you can name them and number them. Really no matches found? We have options in here for bookmarks. Maybe we don't have any options. Nope, no options for markers, but let's instead go to the shortcuts. And here you go. So you come in here and type in bookmark or something close on the shortcuts page. You'll see the shortcut commands. So to toggle a marker on or on at the location is going to be Control plus Alt, and then the number that you want to assign to it. And then just to jump to it, it's Alt plus that number. So it goes like, and you can see each one of these. So Control Alt 1, and it passes a parameter to the bookmark toggle command right here. But you could also pass in a name here as well if you want to create your own custom binding to both go to and toggle the marker. So just to demonstrate, I can come in here and I can say, well, this is important, so I can hit Control Alt 1, and right there underneath the caret, whoops, you can see right there, it's put a little marker, bookmark for number 1. And that's going to persist in the solution if I close it and then I open it back up again. And now if I want to jump to it, I can be anywhere in the project and I can just hit Alt 1 and it brings it right back to me like that. But it stays, it doesn't go away. Okay? So Marcus Voice Programmer, I think your request has been implemented. Okay, now that I've gone to there, I can now hit Control Alt 1 again, and then I can turn it off if I don't want that anymore. That's fine. Thanks. I didn't realize they were there. I think we've got a feature of the week on this. Let me see if I can find for you. There it is. Right there. Feature of the week. Bookmark. Give you a link. It's on that's on Facebook. What's going on here? Let's go here instead. That's what I'm going to put inside for you. There it is. So yeah, that whole series out there as well. You may find other features that you like in terms of the Coders Feature of the Week playlist. Cool. All right. So the question is this, I really have to fix that. I can't have between animations him go away. So Excel 809 says, almost time for games on Dragon Hunters. Yeah, Excel. Sunday, we are scheduled to go live. Absolutely scheduled. Nothing has come in and said, don't do that yet. So yeah, Dragon Hunters should go live there. And for those who don't know, it's a lot of the stuff that we've built here live on this show, including Fred, who's puppeteered right over there, right? His digital puppet Fred is part of that show. The special effects, the die rolling, all of those things that we've built here live using CodeRush and Visual Studio are we're going to see all those come together. And I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be entertaining. It's every Sunday night. Just me and a group of friends are playing Dungeons and Dragons, but we've got all the effects, special effects that we've done here. It's 5e we're doing. All the rules are 5e, and there's a little bit of homebrew in it, but just to make it more exciting and to move things, along a little bit faster. But that's what's going on. So look for that Sunday night. And if you go out there to that link I put in there earlier, you can go click on that link and watch for it and get a sense of when it starts. But watch for your alerts, because due to the recent time zone shift, I'm not sure if that's been adjusted or not. It might start or an hour earlier or later. So just double check that as we get closer to Sunday. Cool. Excel's got us followed out there. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, that channel. So what I think I need, I think the problem is I'm working through the problem and I don't really have a great solution to this. The reason why is because I'm dealing with time, and as time approaches, at the point when we say it's cycled, it's too late and we're not going to draw that frame anymore. But so we add the other one, but the problem is we've already kind of gone through the list and the other one doesn't go, so it misses a frame of drawing for essentially 1/30th of a second, and then comes back in and draws it again. So I think I'm going to have to think about this. Because what I really need to do is I need to know, I think the best way to do it is to kind of add some logic that's similar to this, that's looking to see, that's calling cycled sooner. So this is basically, this code's looking to see if my frame index adjustment here has wrapped around. That's what that code's doing. And there's also, notice this very important, hey, if we're not going in reverse, then figure it out this way. That's a different way to do it. Yeah, end bounds is kind of interesting too. That's for an animation that is, we use it for, what's the flowers? Yeah, for the flowers, where it's not really true for the flowers. We have a start bounds and an end bounds. And the idea is that if I have a sequence of animations, I can start playing the first as an intro, like the flowers are growing. And then I have a start bounce and then an end bounce, and then I loop in that sequence like the flowers are waving in the wind. And then when I pass when it's time to die, I let us go past the end bounce into the rest of it. And at that point, it may do the withering of the flowers animation. And so with a few frames of animation, I can get a sequence that can last an incredibly long time, and yet look like it was one whole long sequence of many frames of animation when it's really fewer frames. Yeah, exactly. That's what the pedal fall, etc. That's what inbounds is right there. Yeah, I think I'm going to think about this. I think I need to study the code and think about this particular problem. I think it's what I need to do. Let's do this though. I want to keep going with the animations that we've got and kind of do some more sequencing here, including moving. Because I want to do the walking sequence and get that going here and figure out how much we have to move our character each time. The sprite that comes in, I think, is the name . I want to pass the name out and see what happens. I think it's the name of the animation that's stopping, so we can tell what the animation is. Yeah, the execute next command. There may be another way to do this though. Hold on. I'm thinking it goes like this. Hold on, we have a draw command in Sprinkles. There. Okay, let's do this. Let's just try this. new animations added equals false. Like this. Here's what I think is happening. We're going through and drawing, and we realize we can't draw anymore because it's reached the end, but we've already cycled through maybe the other one. Is that actually theoretically possible? Because we should actually check that. It's theoretically possible. What are we adding first? We add battle cry and then dies, so the battle cry ends. Yeah, theoretically we should come through and hit it at the end. But my thoughts were this, is that when we draw, we go through and we get here, we check to see if any have been added in this point. If we do, we go draw one more time, just those that have been added. So let's just play with that space for a second. We might be able to fix it without changing the core engine. Okay, so now we've got that just added for that pair. I'm in the right place. I'm not. One body pair is where I want to be. Flock Creations is back in action. Right there is where I want to put it. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not thinking correctly here, am I? The command queue for bases is in good shape. Hold on. Yeah, I guess I can put it there. I can put it here. I'll put it here. I'm going to simplify some of this code. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I can. Hold on a second. Let me jump in here. Just copy this declaration. Come back over here. You got your good news, Copperbeardy. What is it? A Twilio champion. Copperbeardy says. Excellent. Congratulations. That's awesome. Awesome. Or maybe.
Awesome! Excellent! Unbelievable!
Works.
That worked!
All right. Let's get back over there. Let's get back over here. Okay. All right, so now we got add animation. In fact, I could just simplify that to this and then check to see if it's null and get out. Okay, that means I can come down here as well and do this. Essentially the same bit of code. Okay, a little happier. Okay. So my idea is in my draw function down here, I check to see if new animations were added. Have they been added? And I just want to go into my add animation and I want to say, hey, yeah, is equal to true, like that. Then I want to go in and grab, go through all my parts like this. Draw new animations. Like this. I think this might fix the problem. Context now. Like that. Shoot. Okay. If I'm alive, dense time slot. See you Sunday. Okay. Gotta go. Games going online soon. Just wanted to check on progress. Give a positive comment. Well, thanks so much, XL809. Glad to have you with us. Glad to have you checking in. Yeah. GGGL. GG. HF. GG. Talk to you later. Okay. We'll see you. So foreign body pair dot just added. Then I'm going to come in and say foreign body pair dot just added is equal to false. And I'm going to also say foreign body pair dot draw context context dot now. Maybe that'll work. Draw new animation. So that's my idea for how we fix it. Wouldn't that be sweet if that fixed it? I would love that. Let's give that a try. So we're going to come in over here, refresh, trying to get rid of that flicker. Flame Creation says, did you end up moving some of your stuff over to using Google Sheets for your game? Yes. How's that turned out? Good. Still using it. Let me show you. It's not bad. So, you know, on the show, we pretty much create everything from scratch. So instead of using like an existing database, I'm just using Google spreadsheets. And so this has got the list of all the Dungeons and Dragons spells in it. In addition to the list of spells, I've also added columns for events, like and also an available when expression. So we used an expression evaluator, the SEB expression evaluation engine, and we enhanced it to be able to support adding our own custom functions. So we have functions like give spell to target, which you can see right here in this code, right? So this particular, when I cast this spell allows me to give another spell to somebody else. And then they can then take that spell and based on the selection here, there's an option here, I think, somewhere where I'm selecting it. Here you go, ask. This function right here, ask, is saying, hey, select the damage type. And then here are the answers that we can select from here. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison with the values associated with each one of those. And then those are then set to this variable we're creating called Dragon's Pair damage. So as you can see, I've essentially got something very similar to C# code here in the spreadsheet that determines how the spell behaves. This one right here, Find Steed, this is one we added just the other day. So it has a simple one when it's cast, on cast, when the spell is cast, right there, that plays the scene, bringing up that scene called dh.sprinkles. So I think I can demonstrate that for you right now. Let me turn, what do I need to do? Turn on the back overlay here on the main screen. Let's initialize that data. Performance-wise, all good. Yeah, it just reads in the data once at the beginning, and then it stores it in memory. So it's not really a problem performance-wise. The main performance issue we have is on the evaluation of the expressions when expressions have trigger effects on other expressions. I need to optimize that. Right now, if data changes, I go back and reevaluate everything again, and we can kind of get into a loop of expression evaluation, which can take like up to like 3 seconds, and it's not optimized for efficiency. So little cutie has got a. Why am I not seeing that here?
Fred, it's cutie.
Okay, there we go. So little cutie has got a spell called Find Steed. So I've been watching your progress on it, but missing streams on it. Meant to ask. I'm not sure my use case would be as elaborate, so it should work well for me, I think. Yeah. So it's just, yeah, we're exporting to CSV and reading it all in at the beginning is all we're doing. And then also I can update it as well. So I actually created a file watcher. So if I'm coming in here and showing different spells, and all of this data is coming from that CSV file, which is an export of this. So there's no performance, issue really on reading the CSV, nothing noticeable. So we're just doing that, showing all the spells there. But her Find Steed spell, I can demonstrate that, right? Get this up, let's cast the spell. Notice the time is right at 12:30. I'm casting the spell. Okay, whoops, let's hit run here so we're really close to it. So that's the game clock right there, 12:30. I can add a minute, get to 12:39, and now let's enter combat. Entering combat is going to stop the clock. So Find Steed, by the way, the big deal here is that Find Steed takes 10 minutes to cast. You can see that right up there in the spell description up in the top there where it says casting time 10 minutes. Clock is stopped. We're not quite at 12:40 yet. But what happens is now we start, I take Willie and I say, let's take your dagger and let's roll the attack on that. Then I go to another player and let's get another spell up. Like, for example, Chaos Bolt. Let's cast that spell right there. You throw it. Then we go back to Willie. We're going to advance the round and we're going to get 6 seconds closer.
Willie
takes an action. This should advance the round. Fire bubble. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. There we go. We went up 6 seconds. We went from 21 to 27. I think I've got advanced round.
Look at all that
here.
damage.
I can do that as well. So here we go. Advancing the round. Now, at some point, that Find Steed spell is going to kick in. We're almost there. Right? Right about now. Now. Am I at a break point? Oh, I'm at a break point. Look at this. D&D alarm, cast spell now. So there I'm at a break point, and we're going to run it. And Find Steed has occurred, and now that guy's appeared. Sprinkles the battle unicorn. Kind of cool. So Dungeons & Dragons 5e rules. When the spell finally kicks in, 10 minutes of game time, right? See what's going on? It's pretty cool. Let's close this all down. See the code. Yeah, kind of fun. So, so I hope that it's going to be fun this weekend. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun show. Let me give the doc command here. So we dock the code rushed. There we go. Dock the drones. Fred, are you still good? Fred says yes. Still good. All right. So you're doing a show this weekend. We are. You go out to twitch.tv/dragonhumpers. It's going to be like the old Mondays podcast, if you've ever heard that as well. So I wish I had half of that 30 years ago when I was playing. Yeah. So we're actually, one of the things that's cool about this, Frank, is that we are, we've added, and I say we, I don't know why I'm saying we, but it's all stuff that we've done here on the show together, you kids and me. But we have added we've added a lot of features to make things go faster, right? So when I say, like, for example, we're going to enter combat, initiative is automatically rolled, totaled up, you know, including taking care of things like Willie. You see 2 die above my hand here. Has got advantage on initiative, so he gets to roll 2 dice, and everything's totaled up over there. And in addition to that, the dungeon master gets the data sent to him via text, that sort of thing. So yeah, so a lot of things are automated. That's a bug right there, by the way, but not sure if that's going to get fixed in time for the weekend. Not a big deal. But that's kind of what we're doing. We got the D&D clock, which we implemented on the show. Really cool stuff there in terms of implementing the way the Dungeons & Dragons calendar works, and time and alarms. And you saw that, right? If we cast a spell and 10 minutes later, because it had a casting time of 10 minutes, sprinkles appeared and showed up. So very, very cool. All right, so now we want to check to see if our sprinkles thing is going to work or not. What do I have over here? This stuff, these error messages I think are good. I think we've refreshed. Let's see what happens when I say, I don't know if I have or not. Let me just force a refresh and we'll make sure that it's definitely using the latest code we just wrote. Let's initialize player data. Hide the scroll. And click on the Show Sprinkles button, which is right there. I'm going to click that button now. And let's see if we can see it go without a flicker. Oh, no, it still had the flicker. Darn. Yeah, so I'm going to give that some thought. There's one other thing I think I can do. Let me just check the other thing when I add. Let's go back over to here. When I add, oh, and what I wanted to check this here. I wanted to say, hey, if that, then we come in here and do this. We're going to draw new animations. And we're setting this to true there. Okay. Add animation here. Let's see what's going on with add shifting. Create a new index here. Go into super. Go into super. Time start is equal to performance.now. I wonder what happens if I do this. I don't know. It's just an idea. Let's see what happens. We'll refresh the overlay on the stream. Initialize player data. And show sprinkles. That might have worked. I think that -1 might have done it. That means that somewhere I've got a less than. It should be a less than or equal somewhere, I think. Let me do it one more time. Show sprinkles. There's the first animation. Yeah, there's no flicker. That got rid of the flicker. I could also theoretically keep it because performance now is coming back, is giving me back something in like what? What's the units? Doesn't say. It's either milliseconds, and so if I just back it up by 1/1000th of a second, by one millisecond, this is almost an acceptable hack. Or I could do this. This is maybe a better way to do this. Hold on. let's go back up into sprinkles so that we don't risk messing with anything out here. Let's declare a new local for this. Declare a local, that's of type sprite proxy right there. And we're going to call this the body. And then we're going to say body dot, we're going to add our on-cycle callback. And then we're going to say body dot time start -1, just to drop it back like that. Then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to get rid of this kind of semi-funky code right here. We're going to hit the code rush key here, choose to declare local. We're going to call this the horn. And come down here and say horn dot that. And I think that's, and we also want to say horn dot time start -1. Like that. That should fix it as well. And then we don't change any code down below, and we only worry about it, that hack, using that hack up here in this special case. Interesting, I was able to show sprinkles without doing the sending the player data over. One more time, show sprinkles. That did not look as good. That felt like I was seeing the, I'm not sure why that is. That looked like I saw a flicker. No, I didn't see it that time. Look at it one more time. Yeah, I didn't see it that time. I'm okay, I think. All right. It is a sudden motion, but I'm feeling good about that. Okay, good. So that is needed to eliminate flicker for chained animations. Who did the artwork? I don't know. I got it from, I'll show you. I have a subscription to elements.envato.com, and I did a search for under stock video footage for Rhino, and maybe add the word alpha in there to make sure we've got an alpha background. This is the one that I got and used. So I use this one right here. So that's what it looks like. So that was the original footage. I isolated the horn and created a couple of transitions between walking and idle, and walking and attack mode. So I've got these transitions. It kind of is a frame-by-frame animation. It started as a video. I put it out as a PNG. I converted it to PNG using Adobe Premiere. Hold on, we can close this down right here. And let's go, here we go. These are the frame-by-frame animations. They're PNGs that are out there. That's what's going on there. So it started as a 3D character that had the animation, I'm sure. And then the answer to the question is who? It's, who is it? Doesn't somebody have a name up here somewhere? I think maybe I got to sign in to see who the name is. But that's basically what I did. I isolated the horn so we could cycle the horn through different colors. In fact, I think if I get rid of Fred, you'll be able to see the height. So horn's still cycling. If I'm right, let's see about that. So is it color cycling? Yeah, it's cycling. There it is. Yeah. Bring Fred back here. So yeah, that's what it is. And so the horns are separate. So we created some cool tooling that took the 1920 by 1080 exports of Adobe Premiere and then cropped them down and created some text files for us so we knew where to put everything. And that's how we got these two. Now we've got these two so far. We've only done battle cry and dies. Graze is next. So let's do graze. Add that in and watch graze animation because, you know, we should do that. Let's see what we got here. So this is going to be in the graze folder. Right here. How many of these do we got? We have 301 frames of animation. Crazy. Then now we have to figure out the origin relative to the very start battle cry so that these origins are all the same. So if we go from one animation to the other, everything's the same. And the way we do that is we're going to bring up kind of this one-time kind of mental exercise. We just do once here. We bring up graze, and then we bring up the original battle cry right here, and we look at the differences between these two. And if we also look up the dies animation here, notice that dies dropped down by 40 between battle cry and dies. It went down by 40, and inside our code, we've got a negative 40 right there. Okay, so we need to figure out this number here. So if we look at battle cry to graze, we are going down 25, it looks like. Okay, so we're going to say the left is going to be origin x minus 25. The y, not die, sorry, we need graze. The y goes from down minus 7. Now we need our X and Y offsets for the horn. Those we figure out looking at the difference between this file, graze.body.txt, and the horn file, which is here. Let's look at what our changes are there. Left doesn't change, so that stays at 0. And the top goes 494. Let's pop this in the calculator. I won't do this in my head. 494 minus 263, 231. 231. Cleveland looks like he's part of the Blue Man group. Is that true, Fred? No, that's not true. Not part of it. Graze is a loop. It's not sequential stop, so we can accept the default value there. I think that's going to do it. That's going to bring graze inside. Next, we're going to say, I don't know, I guess I want to say, I don't have a good transition here, but we'll do, you're going to see some jumping because the graze start and ends with the idle position, and battle cry and dies both start and end with the defensive aggressive position. So you're going to see a jump between here and here and here and here for now, but we'll at least see the sequence. We'll see battle cry, then graze, and then dies is what we're expecting to see. Let's try it and see if it works. We'll try it on the live stream. So refresh the cache. Visualize the data. Show sprinkles. Maybe some flickering to start with. There's the graze. And then the dies should come up about, there you go. Cool. One other thing, though, that I just realized is the horn changes color, right? When we come in here, we need to actually figure out that horn color. Now, if we look at the sprite proxy, no, the colored sprite proxy, right? What is it? Color shifting sprite proxy. Hue shift per second. It's just modifying its hue shift property. Sweet. No, shoot, hold on. Oh yeah, So it's this. We're grabbing this hue shift and modifying it. I think I need a new function in here. A function that returns a number, which is the get current hue shift, like that. And it's essentially this code followed by a return of hue shift, like that. And then we can come in here and say this is now get current hue shift. Like that. Looks like it needs a now. Okay, so there's my get current hue shift. I need to maintain that when I'm shifting from one animation to the next, because if I come in and we do show sprinkles again, watch the color as he changes animation. Now he goes suddenly to red and starts at red again. Let me remove Fred a second so you can see this a little easier. Do one more time. Show sprinkles. So he's moving through to orange, then he starts at red again. And I think he's going to start at red again when he shifts again. He's at green and he starts at red. So we need to maintain that color shift as he goes from one animation to the other. Now granted, at this time, these animations are jumping because I don't have the transition pieces in yet. But let's work on the, even with the jumping, I want to get this hue shift thing figured out. So back to sprinkles. Here, if sprite is a color shifting sprite proxy, wait, why do I not instance of, right? That's it. How do I do this? Can I do the other thing here? I'm wondering if I can just do this in Java, in TypeScript. I'm totally forgetting. Can I do that? Is that legal? No. It's more like this then. Is that right? No, not right, apparently. Oh, maybe if I got the word let in here. Is that right? Totally forgetting how I typecast in TypeScript. Because it's been a long time since I've been in TypeScript, I think. Let's go look at it. Sorry, apologies, kids. If you know it, just give it to me in the chat room. Otherwise, we're going to say casting in TypeScript. Fullshamart says, so my buddy that linked me to your channel said you do stuff for D&D. Are you planning on it being compatible with Roll20? No. No plans at all for it to be compatible with Roll20. This is actually not something that we are going to, that's like for sale or anything like that. The source code's all available online. And we're just doing it because we are, I need to build something. And I need to dog food code rush, which is what I'm doing, and that's what we're doing. So we're building up a lot of source code, so we're pushing code rush on larger projects. So it's kind of what's happening here. I'm just looking for the freaking way to do it. That looks right. What have I done wrong? What is it saying? Oh, it's just my declaration order. I'm thinking C#. That's my problem. Okay. That's what it is. All right. So there we go. Now we can say color shifting proxy dot get current hue shift like that. And I'm going to say this dot horn hue equals that. Cool. And what's my problem here, though? Oh, I need a now. So let's just pass in a PFN, performance.now, like that. We can do that. Now, horn hue, let's declare that. Like that. There's our horn hue. We'll start it out, initialize it to 0, which is red, not a big deal. Now when we add a new animation, here it is right here. The body, we don't worry about, but here we go. Hue add shifted. We're going to pass in the hue shift right here. So we'll say this dot horn hue, like that. And I think that's going to fix it. Let's watch it and see if that works. So come in here, drag and back overlay, refresh the cache. Here comes sprinkles. Looks like player data. And show sprinkles. All right, we'll do it one more time. It looks like it took a while for the horns to load in. That was the background loading of the sprites. And we'll do it one more time. We'll watch the color of the horn. I'm looking for it to, whatever color it is when the animation shifts, it didn't work. I don't get that. It's not clear to me why that is the case. Yeah, Copper Beardy, I would agree with that. Yeah. Okay. Migrations. LOL. Let's at least see what the data is out there. So let's go back over to. We're going to refresh that, but I also need to refresh this guy. Let's just click on show sprinkles. Well, let's let him load up here. So we just loaded grays. Comes horn. Could you still hear Code Rush? Yeah, you could. Okay. All right. Here, let's do an initialize player data, and then let's click on show sprinkles. See what comes out over here. Undefined. All right. Well, at least we got a good answer on that. Animation cycled. Oh, I know what. Hold on. They're not always going to be. Well, no, wait. I'm asking the question here. If it's an instance of it, then we should be able to get it. Get current hue shift. Is it get current hue shift that's returning the value undefined? Doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I want to set a breakpoint in here. All right, we're here. Hue shift is 0. 30 per second. Seconds passed is equal to 68. That feels true. Hue shift is equal to 263. Okay. So 263, that seems fair. How are we getting out to here when I just hit F10? Oh, because I called it from shift color. Okay. I want it. I'm in the wrong place for my breakpoint. I need a breakpoint here. All right. So let's go show sprinkles again and now get to here. We're never getting to here. The sprite is never an instance of a color shifting sprite proxy. Sprite is undefined? Hold on. We may not be passing in the sprite. This instance I don't even get that. That should totally be working. I was thinking this is all I would need to do. I suppose I could also do a bind here. Yes or no? Yeah, that should be a bind should be available there. I'm not seeing it. That should totally be available there. It is not. I thought bind was available on the end of the for each. Not sure why that's not available. Well, let's start throwing out console log here. Let's try that one there at least for now. Yep. Marcus Boyce Berger says no rhinos were actually killed in the making of this movie. He's just resting. He's just resting, don't worry. Show sprinkles. this instant is an object. It says it's sending an object out to it. Let's just throw the instance out like that so we can explore it. See what it looks like. All right, clicking on show sprinkles. I'm doing it before the animation's all loaded. Thought I hit it. Let me try again. Show sprinkles. It's coming up on the live stream. Refreshing the live stream, so we're just looking in the background here. Okay, it's a Sprite proxy. Why is it? I don't even get that. So it's a Sprite proxy there. Well, I've got something wrong here, I think. So this looks good here. When I call my uncycle callback, I just want to throw that out. See what's coming in here when we get it. Refresh. Show sprinkles. Let me refresh it out here so we don't see extras of them. All right. Sprite proxies are coming in. Okay. I'll try that. I'm a little bit confused about the whole thing. I should actually set a breakpoint in here, I suppose, is what I should really do. And see what's going on. Because although I did have this breakpoint, we never hit that. Did we? We never hit that breakpoint. Am I using instance of wrong? Is it just something stupid? That looks good. It looks good. What's interesting is if we look at in the console log, we don't actually see that. Let me refresh one more time. Oh, we'll go ahead and, I'm going to see show sprinkles. So we get a breakpoint. There we go. So now we're at a breakpoint. So this is a Sprite proxy. I know what's going on. Okay, here's the problem. We're hooking up to see the animation cycle. We're binding it on the body, not the horn. The horn is the one that's color shifted, not the body. So what we want to do instead is we want to bind it on the horn. That's what we want to do. That I think is going to fix it. So I think we go here, we clear this breakpoint, clear my console logs, clear all of that, and I'm just going to hit run here, and then refresh here, and refresh also on the stream. I'm just going to try it on the stream. I think it's going to work. I think we had the essence correct. We just were binding to the wrong piece. Here comes the show sprinkles command. Maybe give it a second or two to load so we don't have a lot of flickering. Oh, there's some flickering, not too big of a deal. Okay. Doesn't look like it's working. Let's try one more time. Show sprinkles. Yeah. Nope. Not working. What's going on over here? Probably the same thing. Show sprinkles. Oops, let me refresh the one on or hide rather than on here. Yeah, that's not working. Let's send some messages over. All right, let's refresh it. What's the data? Show sprinkles. Sorry, we're just background loading. Hold on. The horn hue, while it's incrementing here, does seem to be working. So why wasn't it being set? Execute next command is going to come in and do a command push on it for this, but then it's going to get horn body pair. And then it's going to call add animation, which is going to reference horn hue. Let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint here. And set a breakpoint here. Let's disable our breakpoints. Run. Come back. Start the new animation. And then set our breakpoints really quickly if we can. Here we go. I'm going to click on show sprinkles. I'm having trouble getting the mouse even out here. Enable all breakpoints. Did we get anything? We got animation cycled. Okay. So one of the animations ended. We're getting horn hue. And we said it's 316. Okay. That's super cool. I think we can just run until we get to the next. Here we go. 316. Why is this failing? Q shift should be 316. Set QSat brightness 316. Pushing the sprite. And where do we calculate the there's our 316. Shift color. Let's call in shift color. What's this? Dragon front game. That's something different. This is draw. Shift color. So before drawing, we're going to call shift color. Yeah, I'm a little confused about it. The numbers and the data look good. Let's send the data out. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I may have to step away and think about this because I'm like not quite getting it. Right, show sprinkles. Animation cycle, we add the animation. Yeah, it's keeping it. The data's there. Catch it one more time. Yeah, it's like resetting. Oh, wait. It's offset from time start. I think that's the problem. I think we might need to set the time start equal to the time start of the previous one. Like that. Okay. Then, now we can come in and say, when we use this in the future, we want to say, horn start equals this last animation time start. So we're backing up its start time. We can now get rid of this as well. And then now, therefore, the calculation will be good moving forward, I think. It kind of messes with questions like how long have you been alive? So it's a potential hack here. So let's mark it as such. And let's see if that works. See if that fixes it. Refresh. All right, show sprinkles. We'll probably see some flickering here as it's loading in the elements. I think it's working. I get the feeling it's working already, though. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Show sprinkles. Yeah, I'm going to call that working. Way better. In fact, it even makes the animation jump seem smoother because the color doesn't change. Look at that, it's a little off. Uh-oh. The time start, we've got a new problem though. I think. There's the problem in the second one. Okay, so the hack doesn't really work, but it does give us a clue as to what the problem is. Yeah, we cannot do that. Time start has to be okay. So we're going to use some math, I think, to do this instead. I think this code should be changed to this. That might work to solve this problem. In fact, I think it will. I think that's going to fix it. Let's see if that fixes it. So again, it's background loading the images. Yeah, that looks like that's the fix. Okay, cool. Let's bring in a couple more. I feel like we're almost done for the day here. We've got grays. We brought that in successfully. Idle. So once again, bringing up idle here. Compare that with our first battle cry. Idle's moved over 6. We get sprinkles. Look at the file name. What's the file name in here? File name this time does not have the dashes. It just starts with the word idle. number of frames. Really? Oh wait, that's the idle blast. I haven't brought that in yet. There we go. 201 frames. So 201 frames. What do we got now? Let's compare these two together here. This goes up by 6. So I think this becomes a +6. And the origin, the Y, sorry, goes down by, is it 14? It's 14. So minus 14. Right there. Then we need the delta X and Y for the horn. So we want to compare idle body to idle horn. Text. So no delta, the delta X is 0, so that's good. The delta Y looks like it's about 225. Let's double check that. 225 plus 256, 481. So 225. That. And now we've got an idle in here. Now we can come in and say put idle in front of grays. And those two will seamlessly connect together. We'll still have a jump between battle cry and idle. Although we could do this. Let's do this instead. Let's do idle at the beginning. And then we're going to go to grays, then we go to battle cry, and then we're going to go to guide. Okay, let's try running that now. There's the refresh. I just clicked on add sprinkles. I think I hit it. Yeah, I did. All right, and it's just loading on demand all of those images. So it'll take a second to bring them all in. And then it ends with the death scene. I'm going to click it again. Go through it. Should be a little smoother this time. I felt the XY jump was wrong here. Right there. Is that my fault? Did I do this wrong here? Let's just change it. How can I do this right? The origin X of idle. Let's double check this. Idle body left is 316. Oh yeah, that's not right. 123 is the original. It was like appearing against the wrong number. Oh wait. No, hold on. Yeah, no, I want to see the difference between the two. Yeah, the difference was only 6. We went up by 6. Let's go compare that with the Gray's body. We went down by 25, and we subtract 25. Yeah, the +6 seems right here. Gray's to idle. should be right. We're starting an idle. You go to grace. Yeah, it's like there's a jump back that I'm not getting. I don't feel like that jump back is right. Let me look at the connection between the last two animations as well. I think I'm going to give it some thought. Let's go see who else is streaming out there right now. Thanks for joining me, kids. Expect to see you tomorrow. Same time, we'll be kind of cleaning this up. We're going to send you over to Michael Jolly. Yeah, I hope Sparkles gets better too, soon as well. Oh look, Sparkles is good again. Sparkles is excellent. Thanks, kids. Coding Gorilla, Surly Dev, Copper Beardy, Marcus, Flame Creations. Appreciate all you kids hanging out. Let's go raid. Say hi to Michael Jolly.